If my former boyfriend was still around, he would have gotten me a much larger diamond ring, she murmured with a sigh while examining the ring I had scrimped and saved for months to purchase for her. My world shattered in that moment. I'm 26 years old, employed in tech support, and just 3 weeks ago, I believed I was on the verge of proposing to the woman I considered the love of my life. Her name was Lily. We had been dating for 4 years, sharing an apartment for 2 of them, and for the past 8 months, I had been carefully setting aside money to afford the ideal engagement ring for her. I should have noticed the warning signs sooner. Perhaps I did, but chose to overlook them. Lily had always enjoyed recalling memories from her previous relationships, though it seemed innocent in the beginning. An amusing anecdote every now and then, a passing reference here and there. Her most significant ex prior to me was a man named Brandon, a corporate finance type who evidently earned a substantial income and preferred luxurious items. They had been together for 2 years until he relocated across the country for a job opportunity, leading to their separation. She consistently described the breakup as mutual, insisting they simply weren't destined to last. That was acceptable. I had past partners as well. We were mature adults. It didn't concern me much at first, but in the last 6 months, Brandon's name began appearing in conversations far more frequently. Brandon once took me to that same eatery. Brandon's firm handled a project like that. Brandon used to tell me I looked stunning in red. I brought it up with my younger brother Kevin during an online gaming night. "Man, that's odd," he commented through the microphone. "Why does she keep mentioning her old boyfriend?" "I'm not sure. Perhaps she's simply at ease discussing her history with me. Or maybe she hasn't fully moved on from him." I dismissed the concern. Kevin was only 23 and had never been in a serious relationship. What insight could he possibly have? The search for the ring took place in early November. I had spent weeks investigating options, browsing countless online stores, evaluating costs, and studying customer feedback. I aimed for something refined yet understated, something that would bring a sparkle to Lily's eyes upon seeing it. Eventually, I discovered the perfect one at a modest jewelry shop in the city center. A white gold setting featuring a princess-cut diamond, elegant and timeless. It equaled 3 months of my earnings. I collected it on a Tuesday evening after leaving the office, my pulse racing throughout the commute home. I concealed it deep in my sock drawer, already picturing the moment I would propose. I envisioned Christmas Eve, perhaps at the scenic viewpoint she adored, the spot of our very first meaningful date. That Saturday morning, Lily and I were enjoying coffee in our living room. She was browsing on her phone while I read news on my laptop. It was that peaceful, quiet, only long-term couples truly share. Suddenly, she released a deep, longing exhale. I glanced over. "Everything okay?" "It's nothing," she replied with a smile that seemed forced, just lost in thought about what. After a brief pause, she turned her phone toward me. It displayed an Instagram update from a shared contact, pictures of an engagement. The bride-to-be proudly displaying an enormous diamond ring. "That's gorgeous," I remarked. "Yes," she agreed with another sigh. She placed her phone aside and gazed at me with an expression I struggled to interpret. "You know, Brandon got engaged to his current girlfriend last month. I noticed it on Facebook. The ring was absolutely breathtaking, likely around $20,000. My stomach twisted, but I maintained a steady tone. "That's great for him. He did have excellent style." She continued staring at me, and I sensed I was being evaluated against an unspoken benchmark. "Back when we dated, he gifted me this amazing necklace for one of our anniversaries. Genuine sapphires. Sometimes I wonder what sort of ring he might have chosen if things had worked out between us." I was speechless, so I remained silent. She let out a soft, almost melancholic laugh. "Apologies, I'm acting strange. I only meant that it's wonderful when a partner truly splurges, demonstrates how much they value you, don't you agree?" I responded softly. The topic shifted, but the atmosphere had changed. I felt nauseous. The next Wednesday, I arrived home from work to discover Lily in our bedroom. She was tidying up, reorganizing items, and had evidently chosen to sort through my dresser drawers. "Hey, you really don't need to handle that," I mentioned from the entrance. "No problem, I was simply—" She stopped, clutching a small object in her palm. "The ring box. What is this?" My pulse froze. Before I could explain, she flipped it open. Her face transitioned from intrigue to shock, then to an emotion I couldn't pinpoint. She gazed at the ring for an extended period. "Is this meant for me?" I gulped. This wasn't the proposal I had envisioned. No picturesque location, no heartfelt words ready. "Yes, I intended to ask you on Christmas Eve." She removed the ring from its case, held it toward the window light, and inspected it closely. The quiet lingered endlessly. Then she spoke those words. "If my ex were here, he would have bought me a diamond ring." She continued admiring the ring, the very diamond ring I had purchased for her, as she uttered them. Something deep within me fractured. "That is a diamond ring," I replied deliberately. "I meant a larger one, a more impressive one." She looked directly at me, and I detected clear dissatisfaction in her gaze. Brandon would have invested more. He truly understood my preferences. I struggled to breathe. I had poured 3 months' worth of pay into that ring. I realized that, and it's thoughtful, truly. It's simply, she paused, eyeing the ring once more, that I always pictured something grander, something that would truly stand out. Brandon got that side of me. I remained motionless as she returned the ring to its box and set it on the dresser. "We could explore different choices if you'd like," she offered, as if granting me a kindness. "Perhaps set aside additional funds." I stayed quiet. I couldn't form words. I simply approached, retrieved the box, and shut it. "What are you doing?" she questioned. "I'm taking it back to the store." "Hold on, Tyler, don't react that way." "I didn't intend." "You declared my ring inadequate. You implied your ex would have surpassed it." My tone stayed even, which astonished me. "So I'm returning it." "Tyler, let's discuss this. I was merely sharing my true feelings. Isn't honesty part of our relationship?" I truly saw her then, for the first time in a while. "Yes, honestly, Lily, if this ring falls short for you, then neither do I, and I've grown tired of vying against Brandon." Her complexion drained of color. "That's not my meaning." "Then clarify it for me." She parted her lips, shut them, attempted once more. "I simply desired, I don't know, something extraordinary. I believed this was extraordinary," I stated softly. "I devoted months to selecting it. I saved every spare dollar. I chose this because I thought it would delight you. I do appreciate it. I just— No, you don't. You prefer the fantasy of what Brandon might have provided." I slipped the box into my pocket. "I need some air. Where are you headed to return it?" "As you recommended." I departed before she could continue. The store had already closed by my arrival, so I drove aimlessly for 2 hours, absorbing the events. Upon returning to the apartment, Lily sat on the couch, her eyes swollen. "May we discuss this?" she pleaded. "There's little left to say." "Tyler, please," I urged badly. "I regret those words." "Which words exactly? The comparison to your ex or declaring my effort insufficient?" She recoiled. "Both. Everything. I'm truly sorry." "Do you regret voicing it or holding the belief?" Her silence spoke volumes. I spent that night on the couch. She approached me 3 additional times to converse, but I couldn't engage. Each glance at her echoed her statement. "If my ex were here, he would have bought me a diamond ring." The following morning, during my break, I returned the ring. The owner refunded most of the amount, deducting a small restocking charge. I gazed at the check lengthily before tucking it away. That night Lily awaited my return. "Did you actually take it back?" she whispered. "Yes." Her voice cracked. "Why would you?" "Because it wasn't what you desired." "That's untrue." I was caught off guard and spoke foolishly without consideration. "You measured me against Brandon," I cut in. "You examined something I planned for months and claimed your ex would have excelled. Can you comprehend the pain that caused?" Tears flowed down her cheeks. "I'm deeply sorry. I'll dedicate my life to atoning for it." "Please, can we move beyond this?" "I doubt it." "What do you mean?" "I mean I cannot commit to someone still attached to her former partner. I'm not attached to him. Your actions suggest otherwise. You reference him endlessly. You benchmark my every effort against his hypothetical ones, and during my proposal attempt, you insist he would have selected superior jewelry." I shook my head. I refuse to rival a memory, Lily. I won't. She wept openly now. Please don't end us. I love only you. If that held truth, Brandon's name wouldn't escape your lips so often. I began gathering my belongings. We both were on the lease, but I earned more and covered the majority of rent regardless. I assured her I'd continue my share until she secured a new roommate or relocated, whichever occurred sooner. She trailed me through the rooms, sobbing, pleading, vowing improvement. I'll never speak of him again, she promised frantically. I'll remove him from all my accounts. Please, Tyler, stay. It was too late. The harm was irreversible. Whenever I pictured her, I saw the dissatisfaction as she held that ring. I heard her longing for it to be from another. I crashed with Kevin temporarily while securing a new residence. A compact studio on the opposite side of town, smaller than before, but solely mine. No echoes of old romances, no battling an absent rival. Lily phoned and messaged relentlessly that first week. Extended apologies, admissions of grave error, pleas to reconcile. I ignored them all. Roughly 10 days post-departure, she left a voice note. I nearly erased it unheard, but curiosity prevailed. She sounded tearful. Tyler, please respond. This is madness. You discarded 4 years because of one idiotic remark. I've apologized. I failed to see why you refused me an opportunity to repair it. You're acting heartlessly. Do you even consider my suffering? I believed you loved me. We were supposed to wed. How can you abandon everything so easily? You're self-centered, and I stopped it midway. Hours later, another note arrived. I didn't intend those words. I'm merely pained and bewildered. Please contact me. I blocked her entirely. Kevin learned soon after while we maneuvered furniture. So it's truly over? He inquired, straining under the weight. Yes. How are you holding up? Surprisingly well, better than anticipated. And it was true. The pain lingered. 4 years of affection doesn't vanish overnight. Yet with each passing day, I felt unburdened, as though I'd shed an unseen load. 3 weeks following the split, I encountered Lily's closest friend, Hannah, at the supermarket. We had always been friendly, but she appeared uneasy upon spotting me. Hi, Tyler, hello. After an uncomfortable silence, she spoke. I know it's not my business, but Lily is devastated. I'm certain she is. She committed a serious error. Indeed, but aren't you being overly severe? I placed the pasta box down. Did she share the full details? The complete account? She mentioned you proposed, then withdrew it due to her comment. That's an incomplete version. I recounted everything, the ongoing Brandon references, the ring remark, the entirety. Hannah's demeanor shifted as I spoke. By the conclusion, she seemed disturbed. I wasn't aware of the frequent Brandon mentions, she admitted softly. She omitted that. Exactly, now you're informed. She nodded thoughtfully. For whatever it's worth, I believe you chose wisely. Constant extortion from a partner would drive me crazy. Appreciate it. We parted, and I completed my errands. While packing groceries into my vehicle, my phone vibrated. A message from an unfamiliar number. You destroyed her heart. I recognized the source immediately. No reply, blocked. Soon after, another from a different unknown. She truly loved you, and you discarded it as worthless. Blocked again. A third via a messaging service. Contact her. Resolve this. She merits better treatment. I powered off my device. Upon restarting it later, 6 additional messages from varied sources echoed similar sentiments. Lily had evidently enlisted friends to pressure me. I responded once to the latest. Inform Lily that if she wishes conversation, she should reach out to Brandon. He'd probably welcome it. Then I switched numbers entirely. Kevin laughed uproariously when I shared it. Man, that's brutal. She brought it upon herself. True enough. 2 months have elapsed now. Mutual acquaintances informed me Lily did contact Brandon, but with his engagement, he showed no interest in reviving anything. Reportedly, she suffered an emotional collapse over it. A small part of me pities her, but predominantly, I feel liberated. I used the refunded ring money toward a down payment on a vehicle I'd long desired. Each drive reminds me I'm no longer accepting a role as runner-up. Last week, I had coffee with a woman named Iris, introduced by a friend. We conversed for 3 hours, and she never once referenced a past partner. When discussing my career, she posed genuine questions without unfavorable comparisons. It may lead nowhere, but it felt pleasant, invigorating. This morning, I noticed Lily had removed her block on my social profiles. She shared an extensive post about recognizing one's value and refusing to accept less than deserved. The hypocrisy struck me clearly. I neither reacted nor commented. I simply continued browsing because I've gained this insight. Love ought not resemble a rivalry. Your partner should never leave you sensing inadequacy compared to predecessors. And if they do, if they fail to appreciate your worth due to fixation on the past, then they aren't entitled to your devotion. I invested 3 months' earnings into a ring for someone who secretly hoped it originated from another. I vow never to repeat that error, and truly, I'm at peace with that decision.